We have all heard by now about the Bank of America memo that said that they want things to be worse for workers in order to forward their own interests. And that's important because this is what they do. This is their business. They are a bank, one of the largest banks in the United States. But it's important to understand why they would say something so terrible about working class people or about the ability of the working class to be able to get by. So we have to understand this. Now, this memo was called A Year in Review, and it was published on June 17 by Ethan Harris. He's the head of the Global Economics Research for the corporation's investment banking arm, Bank of America Securities. It specifically says, by the end of next year, we hope the ratio of job openings to unemployed is down to more normal heights of the last business cycle. What does this mean? Essentially, what it's saying is that they want less job openings per person looking for work. That's the issue. As it stands right now, the actual ratio, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is 0.5 in terms of job openings. That means there's 2 job openings for every worker. Now, it's been much worse in the past. Around the crisis of 2009, it was around 6.5. But then again, that was the Great Recession, and that was a bigger economic catastrophe than what we're looking at right now. So this is what they're really lamenting, is the fact that there are less workers than there are job openings, which means that gives the ability of a worker to choose which job it is they want, and which also forces the capitalist, through the virtue of market forces, to continue to raise wages in order to attract workers. I mean, we all have seen the signs out, oh, we're out of business because workers walked out of the job, blah, 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 after treating them horribly for decades. This is what they're complaining about. See, it's not good for them in this situation because there's too many jobs. And in a manner of speaking, this is kind of what the Fed is trying to do with the interest rates. They're trying to slow economic growth enough so that there's a reduction in the number of jobs. When there's less jobs, that balance of power switches towards the capitalist and away from the worker. The more expensive it is in order to start up new businesses, in order to take out loans to fund production, etc., the slower economic growth is going to be. That's why the Fed raises the interest rate in a situation like this. And now, essentially, corporations are blaming these high wages for the inflation, when, of course, that's complete and utter goddamn nonsense. It is far more likely that the cause is the ongoing economic problems with COVID, unemployment. I would place most of it directly on the oil companies that are gouging us right now. But it would be more accurate to say that the situation right now with inflation is actually that profits are too high. After tax, corporate profits stood at about 8.1% of the economy at the beginning of 2020, but have since shot up as high as 11.8% of the GDP. In an economy of the size of the US, that equals an increase of more than $700 billion in profits each year. These higher corporate profits have been the cause of over 50% of the recent price increases. In other words, when their profits are going up, they raise the price because they're making money, and you lower the price when you're not making money. Essentially, they're doing it to themselves, but this is the logic of capital. You are always out to make the most amount of money possible. And in fact, in many cases, they have a legal obligation to do so. That by law, they must do what is most profitable for shareholders. If they don't, they're literally breaking the law. So, it is actually the record high profits that are causing the situation. They're trying to maintain them, and then because they're so high, they justify charging even more, because that's supply and demand. They've got the supply, they've got the demand, the prices are high. But the problem is, a lot of these companies are now suffering from gluts in production. as with previous stories, it said that things like Walmart, Target, were now telling people that you can return the product and get a refund, just keep the product, because they have such a massive overstock. So there's a very clear contradiction here in this situation. Some things are in a glut, and some things they're trying to raise the price even higher because they'll make money off of it. And there's different reasons for different sectors of consumer goods as to why this would be. But this is the situation we're facing. This inflation is because things are too profitable, or perhaps got too profitable too fast following the reopening after COVID lockdown. So far be it from the fault of us, working class schlubs who want a livable wage to work on. It's actually them and their astronomically high rates of profit, particularly the oil industry. They've been sticking it to us for quite some time now. These record high gas prices have been literally just their gouging, which in turn also raised prices because fuel's attached to everything else. Everything has to be shipped, everything has to be transported, many things have to be heated, etc. I mean, I could go on and on. And so you understand how energy is related to absolutely everything in the economy. All we're really looking at is that capitalism just wants more. They want more money. And that means depressed wages for you. They want more of the variable capital for less cost to increase their own surplus value, thus showing the eternal struggle that exists of capitalism between capital and labor, and that this is not something that can simply be solved by voting in the next Bernie Sanders who's going to fix all the problems and capitalism will suddenly no longer work like capitalism. It's an indication to us that if we are to move past this kind of nonsense, we do have to abolish the existing economic political system and forge a new one. It is not so important to point out that the capitalist class is so greedy that they will do bad things to us in order to profit themselves, but that they have to do it. The logic of capital is infinite growth. They couldn't refuse to do this to us even if they wanted to. And that's the point here. It is not some aberrant behavior, but rather the natural functioning of the system itself and why it needs to be abolished. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.